Known for its vibrant and exciting culture, stunning coastal regions, and, yes, mind-blowing food, El Salvador is no doubt a beautiful country that potentiates as a great tourist center. However, amidst all cocktails and beachy splendor, El Salvador seems to hold a long-standing award for economic devastation. With a high poverty rate, a large informal economy, and a significant dependence on remittances, the Salvadoran economy is facing a crisis that is taking a toll on its people. In this video, we'll explore the root causes of El Salvador's economic troubles and the steps being taken to address them. So if you're ready to dive into the complex world of El Salvador's economy, then buckle up, because we're about to take you on a ride that you won't forget. El Salvador's economy has been troubled for many years and faces several challenges that have led to high levels of poverty, inequality, and crime. There are many factors that have contributed to these problems, including political instability, corruption, and a lack of investment in key sectors of the economy. Let's take a look at the challenges facing El Salvador's economy. One of the biggest challenges facing the Salvadoran economy is the high levels of crime and violence. El Salvador is one of the most violent countries in the world, with one of the highest murder rates in Latin America, with high levels of gang violence and organized crime. This not only poses a threat to public safety, but also hinders economic growth by deterring investment and tourism. According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, El Salvador has a homicide rate of 36.7 per 100,000 people, one of the highest in the world. This high levels of crime and violence have had a significant impact on the economy, deterring foreign investment and damaging the tourism industry. Another challenge facing El Salvador's economy is the country's heavy dependence on remittances. El Salvador is a small country in Central America that heavily relies on remittances as a significant source of income. Remittances refer to the money that Salvadorans living abroad send back to their families and friends in their home country. According to the World Bank, remittances make up about 22% of El Salvador's GDP, which is one of the highest ratios in the world. While remittances have been critical in supporting many Salvadoran families, the country's dependence on them has become a significant concern. Remittance inflows are highly susceptible to economic conditions and political decisions in the countries where Salvadorans reside. For instance, the COVID-19 pandemic had a severe impact on the global economy, resulting in job losses and reduced earnings for many Salvadoran migrants. As a result, the amount of money they sent back to their families in El Salvador decreased significantly, leaving many Salvadoran families struggling to make ends meet. El Salvador's dependence on remittances is a significant factor in its failing economy. The country needs to create more job opportunities, attract foreign investment, and diversify its economy to reduce its reliance on remittances. This requires implementing sound economic policies, improving the business environment, and investing in education and infrastructure. Without these efforts, El Salvador's economy will remain vulnerable to external shocks and dependent on the goodwill of its citizens living abroad. Inequality is yet another significant challenge facing the economy of El Salvador. According to World Bank, the country is among the most unequal nations in Latin America, with a Gini coefficient of 0.46, indicating high levels of inequality. Inequality is widespread, with the wealthiest 10% of the population earning nearly half of the country's income, while the poorest 40% receive just 11%. The unequal distribution of income and wealth exacerbates poverty and social exclusion, as well as impedes economic growth. One of the factors that contribute to inequality in El Salvador is the concentration of wealth and land ownership among a few individuals and corporations. The country's elites control a large share of the economy, including the financial sector, agribusiness, and media. This concentration of power and resources leaves little room for small and medium-sized enterprises, which are crucial for economic diversification and job creation. Moreover, the lack of competition and transparency in these sectors allows elites to maintain their privileged status and perpetuate the existing inequalities. Then, there's the old faithful corruption which has grown thicker. Corruption is a major obstacle to economic growth and development, as it undermines the rule of law and erodes public trust in government institutions. Corruption in El Salvador is particularly acute in the public sector, where bribes, kickbacks, and nepotism are common. Environmental degradation is another significant challenge facing El Salvador's economy. The country is facing issues like deforestation, soil erosion, water pollution, and the loss of biodiversity. El Salvador has one of the highest rates of deforestation in the world, losing approximately 1.2% of its forest annually, according to the World Bank. Soil erosion is also a significant problem, with estimates suggesting that 90% of the country's soil is eroded due to unsustainable agricultural practices. Additionally, water pollution is a severe problem, as over 90% of surface water in the country is contaminated, making it unsuitable for consumption or agricultural use. The environmental challenges in El Salvador have far-reaching consequences on the country's economy. The country's agricultural sector is particularly vulnerable to environmental degradation, as most of the country's population relies on agriculture for their livelihoods. The loss of fertile soil, water pollution, and deforestation lead to reduced agricultural productivity, which in turn can lead to food insecurity and poverty. It is essential for the government to prioritize environmental protection to sustain the country's economic growth and improve the living standards of its citizens. The COVID-19 pandemic has also had a significant impact on the Salvadoran economy. Like many countries around the world, El Salvador has been hit hard by the pandemic, with significant disruptions to supply chains, reduced consumer demand, and high levels of unemployment. The Salvadoran government has implemented a range of measures to mitigate the economic impact of the pandemic, including providing cash transfers to vulnerable households and small businesses, and investing in public health infrastructure. In addition to the many challenges posed by the pandemic, El Salvador also faces long-standing issues related to migration. Many Salvadorans have migrated to the United States and other countries in search of economic opportunities, leaving behind their families and communities. This has had a significant impact on the Salvadoran economy, as it has led to a brain drain of skilled workers and a loss of remittance income. However, migration also presents opportunities for the Salvadoran economy, as remittances can be a significant source of revenue and investment in the country. The Salvadoran government has sought to leverage these opportunities by promoting investments in sectors such as real estate and tourism, which can benefit from the influx of remittance income. So, what steps are being taken to address these challenges? The Salvadoran government has sought to diversify the economy, investing in sectors such as tourism, agriculture, and manufacturing. Despite these challenges, the Salvadoran government has taken steps to improve the country's economy. The government has implemented policies aimed at reducing crime and violence, promoting economic growth, and improving public trust in government institutions. One of these policies is the Plan El Salvador Seguro, which seeks to reduce crime and violence through increased police presence, community engagement, and social programs. Additionally, the textile industry has been a focus for the Salvadoran government, as it has the potential to create thousands of jobs and generate significant revenue for the country. In that regard, the government has promoted small and medium-sized enterprises, providing access to credit and technical assistance to encourage entrepreneurship and job creation. However, there is still a long way to go in addressing the challenges facing the Salvadoran economy. Reducing corruption and improving public trust in government institutions is essential to creating a stable and prosperous economy. Moreover, investing in education and social programs to reduce inequality can help to promote long-term economic growth and development. In conclusion, El Salvador's troubled economy faces many challenges that must be addressed to improve the living standards of its citizens. The country's high levels of crime, political instability, weak infrastructure, and inadequate social services have hampered economic growth and development. However, there are also opportunities for progress, such as investment in the country's human capital, diversification of the economy, and improved governance. It is crucial for the government to take a comprehensive and sustained approach to address these challenges to build a more inclusive and prosperous economy. Additionally, the international community can support El Salvador's economic development through aid, investment, and trade agreements. By working together, we can help to create a better future for the people of El Salvador. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to this channel. And as always, feel free to leave a comment below. We love to know what you think. See you in our next release. Bye for now.